and welcome to this edition of Central Connecticut Now, the program that brings you closer to the newsmakers in our area and the people that cover them. I'm Mike Schroeder, publisher of the New Britain Herald and Bristol Press, and my guest today is Cindy Bombard, president of the Central Connecticut Chambers of Commerce.
Hello,
welcome,
Michael.
Cindy.
Hello, Michael.
Love to have you here.
Thank you for asking me.
Cindy, you are one of the centerpieces of business in our region. You know, almost everything that happens here goes through you at one time or another.
We tend to hopefully know everything that's going on in our area, Mike.
And so one of the things is we're coming right into a new year. Mm-hmm. And what are kind of the things that you know that are coming up that are going to be interesting things to keep an eye on?
Certainly. Well, the one thing that I always like to say about our Chamber of Commerce, we are considered the second largest chamber in the state of Connecticut, 1,600 plus members, and we're growing strong, and we cover the central region. So we have a very active legislative committee. So coming up in January, we have our legislative forum. We have our state representative and our state senators, and that's how we hit the road running in January. In February, we have an economic development forum coming in, and where we bring in people from the state to talk about the forecast of our economy.
I've been to both of those events, and I would say that you don't want to miss those if you've got business in the state.
No, we
know what the environment is and what's coming up.
Right. What we try to do is target the issues. So we learn by what's happening in the state to help us better serve our customer, which are our businesses.
And you've got, like you say, 1,600 of them. Hard to keep an eye on all of them.
It is.
Do we see any new businesses coming in that have announced? Or
we have had several new types of businesses. You know, you have your new restaurants. Some have opened up in the Farmington area, because Farmington is an area that which we cover.
Yep.
But we also have several smaller type businesses in Bristol, some retail businesses in Bristol, as well as you know, a new hairdresser here. Or the manufacturers have pretty much stayed steady. They've grown, which is really nice to hear in our region.
Now, you guys manage some of the manufacturers associations, right?
Yes, we do.
And so you can kind of have your thumb on what's going on with one of the biggest industries in the state.
Right, and the biggest industry that we've learned through the Connecticut Tooling and Machining Association, that's one of our associations that we manage out of our office, and New England Spring and Metal Stamping Association is the workforce. And getting new workers in and trained appropriately. So through the Chamber of Commerce, we've created a Technical Advisory Council in all of the communities in which we service to help better our students and students of all ages.
Yep.
And we work with our community colleges, our Board of Education, and our adult ed to make sure that what the manufacturers or the trades need is being taught in the school system.
Now, have you seen some improvement in that manufacturers can find the people with the skills they need to have?
So our Technical Advisory Council, we're going into our 7th year. So what we have noticed is now that everybody's listening, not that they weren't in the past, but we've brought it to the forefront, is that there's more partnerships happening. So, you know, your basic manufacturing skills are being taught, and a lot of the employers are scooping up those individuals because they want to get them, and then they train them to their needs. So, and we work with the community colleges, and we also work with the state colleges as well, putting people together. Have
we gotten past the point of having to educate people that manufacturing is not your grandfather's manufacturer anymore?
Well,
the greasy, you know, on the line kind of guy.
I don't think it's never enough publicity out there about manufacturing being a great career. Because if you look at a manufacturer, not only there's the skilled employee to work, you know, in the force, but you also have office. They need marketing, they need accounting, they need your senior management people. So manufacturing has got a broad variety of types of businesses within. And engineering.
Highly sophisticated. I mean, plenty of software, plenty of digital equipment.
All high tech.
Yep.
Advanced manufacturing.
Yeah, you can't just sit there all day doing that.
No, and the nice part about what's happened in our region, in the central region, which is the Bristol, the Farmington, Terryville, Plymouth, Wolcott, Burlington, and Plainville and beyond, is we work closely with Tungus Community College. So the president there and beyond within the community college system saw the need in our area, and they're building an advanced manufacturing program. And what they ended up doing is, with the help of the Chamber of Commerce, we pulled the leaders in our manufacturing companies together around a table to talk about the need.
That's great. And so you see continued growth and,
Yes.
and stability in the manufacturing industry in this area.
And it's a
Central
trade.
Connecticut.
Oh, absolutely. And if you talk to any one of our associations, which I do because I attend their meetings, they come from all over the place, and it seems like they're centralized here in the Connecticut area. They're all doing well.
Are they here because that's historical, or
Well,
is
a lot of them, because NESMA's metal spring and stamping.
Yeah.
And then the Connecticut Tooling and Machining it is all the historical companies. And a lot of the companies that belong to both associations can be third, fourth generation.
A lot of these started like in basements of homes,
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
So-
The great-grandfather and grandma, and
Wow.
it's been passed down. So the history that we have in the central region, and I'm very fortunate as a chamber president to be really involved in that. It really keeps my energy flowing.
And we've got, I wouldn't be following everything right if I didn't mention ESPN.
Oh, no, so our chamber membership is the one-man shop all the way up to the size of ESPN, which is 3,000 plus employees based out of here.
It's pretty wild to see that we've got a organization that big.
Yeah,
A
worldwide.
Worldwide. I believe the last time I checked that they had 32 networks
Yeah.
that they operate all out of Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, don't get in the way of those satellite dishes.
No.
What have you seen change over the last, you've been, leaning on 2 decades?
Oh, so what
in one way or another.
Yeah, the fun part for me is we're seeing a lot of young people get involved in the chamber. We have an organization within the chamber called Pivot, Professional Young Visionaries of Tomorrow. And I take a look at myself and say, I'm still a young visionary, but when you start to sit with the Pivot, which is 40 and under, and to be a part of our board, a part of our committees, and to sit and to talk to them of how they do technology a little bit different. They learn from us, but we also learn from them. And I love the energy that the young professionals have brought into our world.
Well, aside from the brew pubs that
Popping up.
popping up everywhere,
Yeah,
seemingly.
yeah.
What other kinds of businesses are you seeing pop up?
So in Bristol, a lot of different types of healthcare businesses. And in the Farmington area, you've got Jackson Labs, and they've brought in a lot of bioscience tech businesses. So you're seeing a lot of that type of business. And then you're having some spin-offs of manufacturing, maybe the 1 or 2 or 3 man shop that will supply parts to like the aerospace companies.
Contractors and subcontractors,
yes.
and subs of them too.
Yep.
So it's pretty.
A lot of hidden gems. Yeah. I always call it the little hidden gem startups.
Can you recall one example of a startup in the Bristol area that kind of surprised you?
There's a robotics business, and I don't know the name of it off the top, but it was a startup that went to the city of Bristol, and they were able to support it and start it, and they've grown, and they're helping, and they have kids involved in that, but that's just one of them, but I don't recall the name of it, and I apologize for that.
Are there any kind of like incubator areas in the area that are kind of focused on the growth businesses?
There are a few incubator businesses within the Bristol area, but in the region that we live in, Hartford also has some heavy-duty
Yep.
incubator spots. Makerspace is one of them.
Yep.
So Makerspace, I've toured Makerspace, and I'm very familiar with how Makerspace was created, and we are actually having them present at our Bristol Technical Advisory Council, because it's something that we would like to talk about to see if there's something
Sure.
that we can work with, the city of Bristol or in the region to see if we could create something like that here.
We're seeing that happen in some of the schools where they turn their pieces of their libraries into that kind of enriching experience.
It's the
for
robotics.
kids to-
Yeah, robotics.
And it's pretty wild.
Your high schools have great technology programs. They have video programs like here at Nutmeg Television. So anything the coding is a big thing now. So that's when I've learned from the pivot people, the pivot young professionals, of what's new out there in the work world.
How do people that are watching us get involved in both chamber things and in Pivot?
Well, Pivot is under the umbrella of the chamber, so all they would have to do is call me up.
Yeah.
584-4718 is our direct line, and our website is, centralctchambers.org, and all of us there at the chamber can help. We get calls all of the time. I look at myself as I just put people together, and then I back out. There's a great company in Bristol, in need of workforce. The owner contacted me, was not a chamber member, but he is now. Went over to visit him, and he had no idea of the tech advisory programs that we were doing. So I introduced him to the adult education program, the Bristol Technical School program, and Tunxus Community College, and then I just stepped back. But that's how you make friends. That's how you keep your members happy.
That's a great thing. Now you also have a event that is ubiquitous to Bristol end of winter, and that's the Bristol Home and Business Expo.
Well, the Home and Business Expo is coming up in the third week of February. Jenks Productions,
we hope it's the end of
well, sometimes it's been the middle of winter, but and that's our homegrown Home and Business Expo.
Yep.
We take over Eastern High School, as you know, and we have a crafter area, and then you have the home and business part of it.
Yep.
And it's growing because you're having more different types of businesses become a part of it as well.
It's a very interesting time to be able to see all the variety of businesses that are in the area.
Right.
And,
Anything you
and
need.
meet your old friends,
Yeah.
too, at the same time.
Yeah, and a couple of new programs that I wanted to let you know that the Chamber has started is because we are very blessed to have so many young leaders in our area. We've created a young leadership training program.
Oh, wow.
So for corporations that have up-and-coming leaders, we've introduced, it's a 9-month program, once a month, at different locations at our businesses and we've hired, we're working with 2 consulting companies to help individuals leadership training.
Wow.
So it may be, marketing. How do you market? How do you put a PowerPoint presentation? So we have all of these different types of finance, public speaking for
Wow.
our young professionals. That's something new that we've created for 2020.
Now, is this a lockstep program where you come in and you go through 6, 8, whatever?
It's going to be once a month for 9 months with a graduation at the Civic Engagement Institute at Tunxus Community College. We've lined up all of our locations. We're going to have one at Bristol Hospital, one at Barnes Group, one at Trump, Connecticut, different locations. So we have a trainer that will work with the students, and then the CEO or upper management come and spend an hour with the young professionals.
Wow.
So as a young professional, you want to say, well, I'm over here, but how can I get over here?
Sure.
So, and they're going to hear from those, the leaders of those companies.
Now, that series, when does it start?
March.
That's great. So
Yeah, and yard
now's
medals.
the time to get your foot in the door if you want to be in that first class.
Right. We have an application. We're going to be beginning marketing it very soon, but it took us a little while to put it together, but it's something that was a need.
Wow. there are a lot of new businesses in the area with a lot of people that want to start them. They really don't have the experience to, in all areas. It's very difficult to do that.
Right.
And one of the things we see that is, you see that is in the restaurant business. You know, the people don't realize that that business is a lot more than just serving up food. And almost everything you just mentioned, you know, everything from marketing to finance, are critical for the success of a restaurant or a hospitality business.
So for any startup business, we have what we call SCORE. It's a group of retired professionals that want to give their expertise back. So they sit free of charge and will sit with any entrepreneur, any individual that thinks that they have a business plan, and they will walk you through. They don't do the work for you, but they actually walk you through the process of putting together a business plan. And we work with all of our local bankers as well to help any individual out. And we also have the Small Business Administration come in once a week to work with any company that may need to know, is there funding out there, those types of things, where do I go? So we really have a plethora of a library of business opportunities.
And you, within, I don't know how long it's been, but you've moved in the last couple of years.
Yes, 2.5 years ago.
So it's nothing new. Your new location is
No,
not so new anymore.
It's still new for some people, but not new for us.
So, and that's working out pretty well.
Oh yeah, I love it. 440 North Main Street. We have great space, and we have 2 conference rooms that some of our chamber members have used. We're actually one of the locations for Amazon to interview and recruit individuals.
Oh, goodness.
So Amazon is in Bristol, and they called us up, became a chamber member, and they've used our office space to do recruiting at times.
And what is Amazon doing in Bristol?
Well, they're a center, a distribution center.
A distribution center. And where are they located?
Off of Enterprise Drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, yep.
So if I'm getting my package, maybe even
could
in New
be,
Britain, it could be
coming
from
right
that
here from
distribution
Bristol.
Center.
Yep.
That's
So
pretty-
every morning you have all the Amazon vehicles lined up down that road, and they're off and running.
Until they get the drones in there.
Yeah.
And they just drop it on your
True.
But so you've got capabilities not only in terms of being a traditional chamber, but all kinds of consulting opportunities, training,
Yep.
and even facilities.
I think what keeps us young and alive at the Central Connecticut Chamber's office is we're always looking and stepping outside of the box to see what else can we bring in to make our chamber members' lives a little bit easier when they open their door and walk in. And for instance, there are a lot of state law changes. So we are putting on a lot of small seminars on the recent changes. The harassment training program that now any company that has 3 or more employees has to have. We're doing programs on that. We brought in the experts on those, and that's something that we're offering. There's been some law changes for business law, and we're bringing in a business attorney group out of Hartford, and we're doing an event on that. And then we're doing one on minimum wage and family medical leave. Those are all hot issues.
Oh, yeah.
That impact employers.
Real fast.
Real fast. And so it's our job to help them learn it.
Where's the best place for people to find out what your programs are, what's coming
Our
out?
website.
Yep.
If they go to our website, there's an event calendar, and everything is in there. But when in doubt, give us a call. My email address is on there. We have an info@Central CT Chamber email address. And, if we can't find the answer for you, we will, if we don't have the answer, we will find the answer for you.
It seems like there's always something that you would find useful in building your business at the chamber.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't know it yet.
Well, what we have become experts at is matching people together. We're businesses and people, and it happens like I day in and day out. From all over the area. Out of Connecticut, they'll call. And
what do you think is the most asked question
What is the most
or
asked?
where the most interest lies from the members of the chamber?
Right now, it's is workforce. The workforce. Workforce is I don't care if it's banking, manufacturing, it's the next generation of workforce.
Is it trying to find somebody to fill positions now, or?
No, it's current, but more and more employers are looking for the future.
We're seeing a lot of retirements coming up, especially in manufacturing, so I'm told. And it's difficult to find people with that kind of expertise.
It's the trades, the experience.
And what's being done about, I mean, we know about the partnerships with Tunxus, with Bristol Tech, the
public schools too.
Yeah.
We have great relationships. So the Technical Advisory Council that I mentioned earlier, every school district, in order to keep some of their grant money, has to have an advisory council. So I happen
That's one of the ways to do it.
I happen to be the one that I sit on Town of Plymouth's, Farmington's, and Bristol, and we've helped create in other areas. So we share.
That's all for tech?
It's the trades. It's the trades too. Plumbing and heating, air conditioning, all of those. Yes, so a lot of school districts have technical advisory councils now.
Now, can you tell which of those trades looks like their most desperate need?
Well, there's the ones that come to the top are HVAC and electricians and welders. Welders, well, you've got Groton Subbase.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate to have Sikorsky, Pratt & Whitney, all of those, and look at what they build.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like that's changing anytime soon.
I don't think so.
We watch the news now.
We do.
It looks like there's going to be a lot of opportunities for people to build things.
Yeah. Nope. So as you can tell, I love what I do because it's no day is the same.
And for people that are members of the chamber and for other businesses that should be members of the chamber, there's always something else that they could be learning or something else that they could be involved in.
For 2020, we probably have 30 types of events already. We have a small business recognition breakfast where we recognize small companies. We have the leadership program that I told you about, and we have a young leadership event where we recognize 20 individuals under the age of 40 that are shining stars in their companies.
And when's that?
Oh, right off the top of my head, I don't know. But throughout the year, it's all on our calendar. All there.
Well, Cindy, it's been a pleasure
Thank you, Michael.
talking with you, finding out what more things I can take advantage of at the chambers.
Oh, yeah, I got your number.
I'm sure you do. And we thank you for joining us on this edition of Central Connecticut Now. We hope you'll join us for our next program. And during that time, have a great month.